I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. I want to welcome you all to the Johnny Scoville Chase the Heat North American Apology Tour starting today. Kidding aside, this is serious. I'm a man of my word. I'm a lot of things, and people will tell you I'm a lot of things, but if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So we need to talk about something real quick. Little backstory, if you don't know what's going on, here's what happened. September 1st, this past year, Harris Wallabaugh was a 10th grader in Worcester, Massachusetts, and he is an athlete. He ingested, a one-chip challenge made by Pocky. Many hours after he ingested it, he experienced some trouble at home. They brought him to a hospital, and he died there. Now, as in a knee-jerk reaction, which I will talk about in a few minutes, Pocky, which is owned by Hershey, their knee-jerk reaction was to pull the one-chip challenge from all stores. Okay. No longer commercially available. Now, initially they were going to stop everything. Their haunted chips, everything. Now it looks like the haunted chips will continue. At any rate, when it happened, I made a video and I said that young man did not die of capsaicin. And I said, when they first came out, they said they weren't going to do a autopsy, and I was kind of hard on them. I was. I'm just telling you the truth. And what I said was, I said that the young man did not die of capsaicin poisoning or whatever. And I said that if it was proven that he was, that I would make an apology video. All right, a couple things I want to apologize for. The first one is probably not what you think it is. I'm a YouTuber, but you know what you are? You're a content consumer is what you are. And I am too. We consume content, and it's what we do. So you've watched a million videos online. I know you've seen interrogation videos, the Reed technique, the whole 9 yards. And I know you've seen people that were in the process of being interrogated, or people on the witness stand famously do this. But what they'll do a lot of times if they're talking about a certain crime or a certain incident is they'll distance themselves from the accident or from whatever's going on. Like they'll say, I didn't know the kid. Or, the kid grew up with them. They're best friends forever. I barely knew the kid. And that's how they distance themselves, the kid. I did that. I'm guilty of that. I did that. His name was Harris Wallabaugh. And I said the kid didn't die. I was guilty of that. And the reason I'm more upset and I feel worse about that than saying that it wasn't capsaicin that did it. Because Harris Wallabaugh was a 10th grader. He had a mom, he had a dad, he had family. All right, and imagine that you have a kid, you have a son. Your son Harris dies from eating something, and then the whole world calls him the kid. That's gotta suck, right? So for the Wallabaugh family, I'm very, very sorry that I did that. That I distanced myself from the whole story and said, the kid died. Man, that's Harris Wallabaugh, and I'm sorry for doing that. And the world did that. That's we don't think about that. We really don't. We don't put ourselves in the shoes of the Wallabaugh family. Imagine how bad that would have been. All right. So anyway, so I said I would do an apology. Now it has come out. The autopsy has been released. According to an autopsy report obtained by the Associated Press, Harris Wallabaugh died from ingesting a high amount of chili pepper extract. He had a heart condition, and then he had an enlarged heart and a congenital heart defect, according to the report. All right, so I want to talk about that. So again, the first thing is I'm sorry for the family for the way they were treated in the news. Put yourself in their shoes. Then I want to apologize for saying that capsaicin didn't kill him, but I have to address this. And I'm not. I thought about. I laid in bed last night for a while, thinking, how am I going to do this, and not do it in such a way that it's going to require apology 2.0. Do you know what I mean? So, and I don't know how to do that. So more than likely, what I'm going to say now is going to create an apology 2.0. I hope it doesn't. But you know what? I don't lie to you. I just don't. I tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. So here's the truth, okay? The autopsy report says that he had a congenital heart defect and an enlarged heart. Do you know what killed Papa Scoville? A congenital defect and an enlarged heart. True story. That's what killed him. You know, that's what his problem was. He had congenital heart disease and an enlarged heart. Anywho, what killed him? Like for instance, let's say that Harris Wallabaugh was an athlete. I grew up. Listen, I'm an old guy. In the '80s, I'm telling you, in the 4 years I played football, at least 2 or 3 overweight kids died sucking on a. What do they call them? It wasn't. It was. Primatine mist. You've heard of it. It was killing people left and right. They changed the formula and everything else. Anyway, what killed him? Was it sports? I mean, first of all, like with a kid with a congenital heart defect, should he even be playing sports? I don't know. If it was my kid, I probably would. I don't know. I have to look at that. I would talk to his mom, and we would talk about it. But it's a scary thing. So did he have a congenital heart problem? Yeah. And did he have an enlarged heart? Yep. Had he never eaten the capsaicin, would he still be alive? I don't know. I don't. But I can tell you that if you have a certain condition, you want to live a certain way. Now, would I do that? Probably not. If I had a heart condition, I'd probably keep living the way I'm living. I'm not. Yeah, one trip around. So you know what? He was probably a very, very. He was probably a good kid. He was probably like every other kid his age. You know what I mean? And, hey, you want to eat something hot? Yeah, I can do it. Totally see how it can happen. So he had, I guess what I'm trying to say is, was it the capsaicin that killed him, or was it a behavior? Was it a heart defect? I don't know. You know what I mean? I get that he died from, and they're saying they're attributing it to capsaicin, but if he didn't have the injury, the condition, a condition that he already had, a pre-existing one, I don't know. But I do. This is an apology. I'm sorry. They've said, I still believe that what killed him was his heart condition. I believe what killed him was his enlarged heart and the pre-existing heart disease that he had. I believe that was the greatest contributing factor to his death. Now, is that going to cause me a 2.0 apology video? If it does, it does. I'm just being honest. I can't make a video and lie to you. I could, but I don't. I told you the truth when I did the first video. I didn't think capsaicin killed him. I said if they proved it was killed him, then I would do an apology video. So it's weird. I'm giving you an apology video, but I'm still... His heart killed him. I'm far more troubled by the way I distanced myself in the videos where I talked about him and called him the kid. I'm way more troubled by me doing that than me saying it was capsaicin, or that capsaicin wasn't what did it. I'm far more... I feel terrible about distancing myself from that all. Like the kid, think about that. If he's your son and you happen to... none of his family are going to watch any videos like this. I understand that. But if you're a friend or someone and you watch that and you hear me call Harris Wallabaugh the kid, that sucked. I'm far more apologetic, and I feel far more guilty about doing that than anything else that I said. So there's my apology. It was a weird thing because the knee-jerk reaction to how it to the reaction, that to me was probably the craziest thing. It just showed the times that we live in. When my kid's mom, my ex-wife, I'm going to start calling her that again. My ex-wife, when she and I had kids, I remember parent-proofing the house. Parent-proofing. That's what they call it. It was a thing then. And now it's like been around forever. But that wasn't a thing. It was like that word first came around when I had kids. Parent-proof your home. And we had kind of a different approach. We certainly wouldn't leave, like a outlet without a plug, one of those safety plugs in it. Okay, we wouldn't do things like that. We wouldn't set the kids up for trouble. But as much as we parent-proofed the house, we parent-proofed our kids. We educated them and taught them. We didn't just send them into the room and said, go for it, see what you can play with. We parent-proofed our kids. And I think when Pocky pulled the one chip challenge from commercial sales, from all commercially, to be commercially sold, I think they did that. It was the same thing. That was that knee-jerk reaction. That's like parent-proofing your home instead of parent-proofing the kids. I don't know. I don't think you should avoid taking care of your home, but far more importantly, it's to educate your children. I'm not blaming the Wollaboff family. Don't mistake that. I'm not. I'm just saying. Maybe I am. I don't know what I'm saying. I laid in bed for hours last night trying to figure out how I was going to word this in such a way that I didn't sound insensitive. Like, honestly, when I tell you that it troubled me, like laying in bed last night, it dawned on me. I was like, wow, think about that. And the whole world distanced him. They were like, oh, that kid isn't our kid. That kid, it's Harris Wollaboff, and it was a tragedy. So that's my apology. He had a heart condition, and had he never had the heart condition, would the capsaicin have killed him? Of course not. They've sold millions and millions of them. Of course it wouldn't have killed him. The heart condition is what did it. But then it's like, well, we're still back there, huh? Same question, like, who? Anyhow. So, I didn't sleep a lot last night thinking about all this. I'm up to 100 pages in the book. Just an interesting time. So, there's no way that the Wollaboff family is going to watch this video. I sure wouldn't. But boy, if somebody that they know, they should say that ugly bald dude with a goatee apologized. I'm sorry for saying it had nothing to do with his demise. I'm sorry for distancing myself, more importantly, from the family and from what happened. And from him, Harris Wollaboff. He was a good kid, apparently. And he's not here anymore. And that's a tragedy. So, I'm a man of my word. If nothing else, if I tell you I'm going to do something, you can count on it. All right? All right. I'm going to end this video now. Not eating anything. This was just a talk. I have a couple cool videos to be doing. I have a very busy day today. I have stuff I've got to do over and above writing. So it's going to be a long one. I have a problem with my laptop, and I don't know why, but I can't get the video to work, the camera. So I'm going to work on getting it repaired. We'll see what I can do. But I'll try to resume live streams as soon as possible. I tried yesterday a lot. Anyway, in the description box, you're going to see a link for all the normal stuff. My son's there. The lifeboat's there. All the challenges I've done. All the really rough ones. They're all right there. Right there is Pepperology. I love you guys. I'm Johnny Scoville, and that was my apology. This was Chase the Heat.